Hello and welcome to Consumer Times. In today's episode, we delve into an important legal development concerning doctors' liability under the Consumer Protection Act, CPA. Recently, the Supreme Court of India rejected a petition seeking a review of its earlier decision, reaffirming that medical practitioners can be held liable under the Act for any deficiency in their services. This ruling has far-reaching implications for both patients and healthcare professionals. Before we get started, please comment, like, share and do not forget to subscribe our channel to motivate us. Understanding the Consumer Protection Act. The Consumer Protection Act, originally enacted in 1986 and revised in 2019, was designed to protect the rights of consumers and provide an efficient mechanism for addressing grievances. Under this law, consumers can seek compensation for deficiencies in goods and services. The Act defines deficiency as any shortcoming or inadequacy in the quality, nature, or manner of performance of a service that is required to be maintained by law. Since medical services fall within the scope of service, as defined in the Act, healthcare providers, including doctors, hospitals, and clinics, can be held accountable for negligence or deficiency in service. The Supreme Court's landmark ruling. The Supreme Court of India has previously ruled that doctors and medical practitioners are liable under the Consumer Protection Act if they fail to provide reasonable care. However, a recent petition sought to challenge this interpretation, arguing that medical professionals should not be classified under the same legal framework as other service providers. The petition contended that medicine is a profession involving complex human judgment, where even the best efforts may not guarantee positive outcomes. It claimed that holding doctors liable under the CPA would lead to an increase in frivolous litigation, defensive medicine, and ultimately, higher healthcare costs. However, the Supreme Court dismissed the review petition, reaffirming its earlier stance that medical practitioners are indeed service providers and can be held accountable under the Act. The court maintained that patients are consumers, and if they suffer due to medical negligence, they have a right to seek legal recourse. What constitutes deficiency in medical services? A doctor's liability under the CPA is primarily linked to medical negligence, which occurs when a doctor fails to exercise a reasonable degree of skill and care expected of them. The key elements of medical negligence include duty of care. A doctor has a legal obligation to provide competent medical care. Breach of duty. The doctor fails to meet the expected standard of care. Injury or harm. The patient suffers an injury or adverse outcome due to the breach. Causation. The injury or harm must be directly linked to the doctor's negligence. Common examples of medical negligence include misdiagnosis, surgical errors, incorrect prescriptions, lack of informed consent, and failure to provide timely treatment. Implications for patients and doctors. This ruling strengthens the position of patients by ensuring they have a legal avenue to address medical negligence. Patients can file complaints against doctors and hospitals in consumer courts without having to go through lengthy civil litigation. This increases accountability in the medical profession and ensures better quality healthcare services. However, many doctors argue that this decision may lead to an excessive burden on medical professionals, increasing the risk of defensive medicine, where doctors order unnecessary tests and procedures to avoid litigation rather than focusing on patient well-being. Supreme Court's view on balancing rights and responsibilities. While reaffirming doctors' liability under the CPA, the Supreme Court has also emphasized that not every medical mishap constitutes negligence. Courts have consistently held that an error in judgment does not automatically imply deficiency in service. To be held liable, a doctor must have acted recklessly or below the accepted standard of care. Moreover, the Supreme Court has urged consumer forums to exercise caution while handling medical negligence cases. The court has stressed the need for expert medical opinions before concluding that a doctor was negligent. Legal recourse for affected patients. If a patient believes they have been a victim of medical negligence, they can file a complaint under the Consumer Protection Act by following these steps: gather evidence, collect medical records, prescriptions, and any communication with the doctor or hospital. Consult an expert. Seek a second opinion from another medical professional to establish negligence. Approach the consumer forum. File a complaint with the appropriate consumer court based on the amount of compensation sought. District Consumer Forum, for claims up to 1 crore rupees. State Consumer Commission, for claims between 1 crore rupees and 10 crore rupees. National Consumer Commission, for claims above 10 crore rupees. Legal assistance. Hiring a lawyer specializing in consumer rights can be beneficial. Await court proceedings. The Consumer Forum will review the case and may seek expert testimony before delivering a verdict. The Supreme Court's decision to uphold the inclusion of doctors under the Consumer Protection Act is a significant ruling that reinforces patients' rights while maintaining checks and balances in medical negligence claims. While it ensures greater accountability in the healthcare sector, it also highlights the need for judicial prudence in distinguishing genuine negligence from unfortunate medical outcomes. For patients, this ruling serves as a reassurance that their rights are protected, and they can seek justice in cases of medical negligence. For doctors, it underscores the importance of maintaining high standards of care while being mindful of legal implications. That's all for today's episode of Consumer Times. Stay informed, stay empowered. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on consumer rights and legal developments. See you in the next episode.